is gonna be first map, I believe, picked by h3lldown. So let's check it from his POV. Oh, that's a nice rail. Finally the match I've been waiting for, exactly. Usually as a solo caster, you kind of need a couple of matches like this split out throughout the day, because there are, you know, the first few games we've had, especially the racy ones, they were like very high energy. It's really hard to keep that energy throughout like 5-6 weeks of casting. 5-6 hours of casting. So you need a few matches like this where maybe it's not exciting. Maybe due to the players, maybe due to the level, maybe due to the place. Some of these dual players should start to play TDM or CTF. It would increase their life expectancy by a lot, smoking every 20 minutes instead of 10. I think they would just, I mean, to be honest, with the amount of timeouts that you get in CTF pickups, they would end up smoking even faster. Because we get like 3-4 timeouts per game in CTF. Every 4 or 5 minutes. And it usually takes long enough so that you can smoke. h3lldown plays from an internet cafe and smokes 3 packs a day. Jeez. Oh right, I've heard about this. Because the guy doesn't have a computer or internet at his place. Who is h3lldown? He is h3lldown. I think it's a dueler from Belarus who doesn't have a computer or internet at his home, so he plays from an internet cafe and apparently smokes 3 packs a day. Nitrino's rail has been hitting a lot today. 85% with 14 shots fired. Sparty already suffered a lot from it, but Nitrino is hitting a lot of rails. I think I might have jinxed him. His old nickname is Finger Swag. Oh, I've seen the guy around there. Nitrino kind of not allowing h3lldown to play. You played from an internet cafe for 8 years. Do internet cafes still exist? Because like if you go to most countries, they don't really exist anymore. Like in Portugal, I don't really find one anymore. Like stuff like Germany, Netherlands, you don't really have them either. But in Eastern countries, they still seem to be popular. They start up, they go bankrupt, and start up again. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Because like it was good like 20 years ago, and people didn't have a stable connection. at their homes or not a computer, but nowadays a computer is a very common household item, and it's very easy to get internet access pretty much everywhere. I think the only the only kind of cafes or internet cafes that there are nowadays in like Western Europe, at least, it's like gaming lounges. Either like which is like places where teams can bootcamp in, like they have to rent in bootcamp, or like yeah, watch parties for esports, where you can also rent PCs and play with friends. Yeah, gaming party venue. There was a gaming lounge in like South Portugal, which was really successful because it was like placed between two schools. I went there for like the inauguration because I got invited, and the owner kept telling me that he kept having parents like go in and ask if they had like lessons like for music, because he wanted to put these kids, or they wanted to put their kids in like in a hobby they would like. So that for me would be like the natural progression of like gaming lounges or internet cafes, to start doing kind of like a gaming school of sorts. Like leave your kid there and he will learn how to play this game or that game or whatever. Because esports are super popular nowadays. But it seems that the people who have the money to start gaming lounges do not have the knowledge to, you know, make gaming schools. Nitrino 9% rail right now, and he's firing a lot of them. Yeah, h3lldown not really having a chance in this map. A PC can like, yeah, so a toaster. Although I say a toaster, but even modern PCs find it very hard to run Quake Live. Because just the setting up part takes so long. It takes very long time to get Quake Live to run properly, right? And I say properly, like how I'm running it now. Because the configuration part is a nightmare in older Quakes. You need like 2 engineering degrees and 5 people helping you. Which I believe is like the one thing Quake Champions got right. It's like it's very easy, like it's plug and play basically. You just install Quake Champions and you press play, and right from the start you have the game as well configured as most pros do, which is great. But if you try to do that in like Quake 3, Quake 4, Quake 2 or Quake World, it's impossible. Press play and wait in lobby, yeah. You can play versus bot, which is fine. Like, I think a lot of my time in Quake Champions, especially warming up, is just running around the game versus bots. And yeah, we need Nitrino hitting over 60% rail. This game was never really going any other way. Diabolical had by far the best setup system I've seen. Could be super easy or more complex. Yeah, Diabolical is also very easy to plug and play. That's really the thing that turns me off Quake Live or other Quakes. That if I go into a new computer, and with my knowledge of Quake, for instance, if I go into a new computer and I try to get Quake 3 up and running, or even Quake Live up and running properly, it takes forever. It just fucking takes forever. It just annoys me to the point where by the time I have the game up and running, I don't even want to play anymore, because all my energy and effort have been drained out completely. Like I had, oh, nice. I was at the gaming house of OG Esports 3 months ago, I think. Yeah, 3 months ago. And they had like a sponsor over, and there were some Quakers over, because ZSX from Quake, he is like the CEO of OG. And so I went there to like say hi and stuff, and he had some... And Sujai was there as well. Sujai works for OG now, in some capacity. So he was at the house, I went there to say hi, and they had the sponsor there, and the sponsor apparently played Quake a long time ago. So we tried to organize the Quake match so we could all play and have some fun in the super high-end PCs there. I tried to get Quake Live to run, I gave up after like 2 hours trying to set it up because it just wasn't working. So we just installed Quake Champions and, you know, we played Quake Champions. What kind of setup you mean? I don't know, I think computers they had there. Like I was just trying to install the game, and every time I would install the game, like it would crash. And it kept giving me random errors. Because sometimes it was just trying to load my config, and my config doesn't adapt to the settings of that computer. It's a mess. Like if you give someone the config, it just breaks the game immediately. It breaks the game, it breaks the computer. It's very annoying. Just a whole hassle to deal with. And on a new computer, the settings are so awful that you don't even want to play. Because it's like shaking, screen damage, music everywhere. It also means that you can set it up exactly the way you want to. Like, the thing I'm talking isn't even the way I want to. I want it set up so that it isn't absolutely awful to play, right? Like, I don't want to be listening to random music while I'm playing. I don't want to be listening to the fucking... Like, I don't want it to be shaking when I get hit or the whole screen to go red. Those are very basic things. And Quake 3 is even worse. Like, I've never been able to set up Quake 3 in less than 3 days. It's impossible. When you set up Quake Live for the first time, it's like playing for 2 minutes and then googling how to turn off X. Exactly. And yeah, Quake 3 has so many different engines that depending which one you downloaded, then you need like a completely different engineering degree to deal with it. And then if you alt-tab, sometimes it doesn't alt-tab, and then sometimes you get this weird gamma lightning error. Yeah, both setting it up on a new hardware where your config is on load, or even setting up it as a new computer from scratch without the config, because that is also awful to do. I think both Quake Champions and Diabolical had that part quite right. Because even if you see, like, if you see someone stream Diabolical, someone stream Quake Champions, and you install the game, the difference from your first install to how they have their own, to how a pro has the game setup, isn't that big, right? It's a very marginal difference. It's a couple of settings that you have to tweak according to your preferences, and that's it. But Quake Live, your first install, compared to how a game looks when you watch a pro play, you're like, this isn't even the same fucking game. I want to play the game that Rafa is playing. How do I get there? You don't get there. You try, you Google a million things, and after 5 nights trying and staying up, you just cry yourself to sleep with despair. And yeah, you cannot copy the pro settings by HUD in Diabolical. In Quake Live, if you like, oh, this is how Rafa plays, I'm gonna try and copy his config, that's it. Your computer is dead now, because you have different hardware. Oh, okay, I thought Talon was gonna hit the beautiful light rocket there. Almost. It's just a very painful experience to set up Quake, honestly. And then you add that to the fact that Quake is a very painful experience to play as a new player. And it's no wonder Quake has the lowest newcomer retention rate out of every game whatsoever. But of course, Quake also probably has the highest retention rate of casual players, or like veterans, because as soon as you go over like the 100, the torture of installing it, setting it up, and you go over the 50 or first 100-hour torture, you're hooked for life. Once you're hooked for life, no other game can give you the amount of satisfaction that Quake has. But of course, you probably need to be a very special kind of person, with a very special set of mental illnesses, and very sadistic and masochistic traits to allow yourself to go through that period of torture. But once you do go over it, it's amazing. I swear it's amazing. Or either that, or we've all been Stockholm Syndrome to death. Counter-Strike, it's way different in Counter-Strike though, right? Because like the thing is, in Counter-Strike you see pros play and you set up the game from scratch. It's pretty much, there's not much difference. It's basically turning off the music and copying the crosshair. Everything else is relatively the same, and the game is really easy to understand, right? You have one weapon and the very basic buy system, and the concept of Counter-Strike is that the game is very easy as a new player to understand what's going on.